So quite often you find various vendors who will be mentioning about TCP optimization features in their WAN optimization products, and they kind of mandate TCP optimization and TCP acceleration. They use all these keywords, and then they explain how their product does WAN optimization so that it gives a better TCP performance. But if you ask me, I'm not a kind of guy who can think only the WAN will consist of majority of TCP. It may also contain UDP. You may have high speed interactive UDP data. It can be a sort of VoIP, or it can be any application. Take for example Google's quick protocol. It is almost like SSL on top of UDP. So the future is UDP. I'm a strong believer of that. There may be going to be having multiple user space layers, or there may be a new protocols which may be defined eventually inspired by quick protocol. So in that case you need to optimize UDP along with TCP, and you need to consider network as a whole, not just count about TCP sessions. And this is one of the reasons in their specs they mention about the amount of TCP sessions a specific device or the product range it supports. If you want more sessions to handle, you need to go for a higher end model and things like that. So to explain this phenomena, I got this small coloring kit, as you can see here. So if you consider each bottle of color as a packet, an individual packet, what is happening is, in the case of Toffee, what I do is I do something called as packaging. It is a sort of relevant recently supported feature. It is not yet which is not yet fully released as well. So what I do is generally, I mean, it was been done before as well, but now it is done in a much optimized way. So in an optimized way, what I do is suppose in a wire you get these individual packets which are going inside the wire. So exactly what happens is, with Toffee in place, it sees you get all these various bottles. As you can see here, each represents a packet flow. Let us assume this first bottle is arrived first, and then so on, and it has all these things in the queue. So what happens is, you can see these are like discrete packets. So one, it can be UDP packet, one it can be a TCP packet, one it can be a TCP push packet with data which is close to MTU, one it can be just HTTP GET packet, one can be a TCP ACK packet, and stuff like that. So you can have any order this way. So as they come before this they are once they are optimized, like compressed and stuff like that, so before they are sent onto the wire, what I do is I do something called as packaging, so that this kind of LAN like traffic is converted into a WAN like traffic. So it's just not QoS as such, to be frank. It actually reduces the data by doing data size by doing the same. So I kind of finally stuff them into a specific container, and then I stuff them in a way that I once they are put across into a specific context like this, I do maintain this order in an optimized way, so that it doesn't have any issues like out of order issues much. But of course, having said that, in a WAN it is still possible, no matter how much orderly you send your packets, it is still going to have any sort of out of order issues in the WAN received remote devices. So this, it will get packaged. So I don't know how to come up with a better word. It gets packaged this way. It's almost like you see you get wholesale packs, and then finally they put this retail packs. Let's assume these are like ketchup bottles. So in a supermarket or a store, you get these individual ketchup bottles, but the store guys will get in a sort of wholesale box. So the workers in the factory, or else the machines in the factory are going to put all these ketchup bottles, and then finally they pack them and then pelletized, and then they will be sent across. So you can imagine like that, almost the same way. So these packets will be kept in this fashion, and then it will be pumped across the WAN network. So this way they get what is called as packaged, and it doesn't matter, no matter whichever order it comes, once they get packaged, one can be a UDP packet, one can be a TCP packet, and so on. So as long as this size is optimal, and it is not exceeding any sort of MTU values, it is still fine. I can just package them in whichever way I want, and it will be sent across. So this is one of the interesting features which I was giving a revisit, and I'm trying to make it as much optimal as possible. So with the new TOFFEE VNF, because I do have some users which they have it in a sort of NFV sort of use cases, and they use it as an NFV in their SDN network. So in that case, they can use this as a VNF. I have tested in various scenarios with my home test lab with this new upcoming feature. So this is what exactly packaging happens. So it makes something like LAN like traffic, because you should imagine WAN is completely different. So the way you travel from one continent to other continent is through an aircraft, or a very long distance is through an aircraft. It's just not a car or truck or something. Either it is going to be an aircraft, or it is going to be a ship or something like that. So long distance travel is completely different than a short distance travel. If it is even more shorter, then you may walk across from point A to point B, and if it is a little bit further away, maybe you can take a bike, and then you can use a bicycle for that, or else a car or a scooter or so. So LAN is completely different, and generally these packets are well optimized for LAN like situation. This is the interesting thing about WAN optimization, is eventually you convert something like LAN like traffic into a sort of WAN like traffic. So this, it gets packaged, and then they get moved upon, and I don't do any sort of splitting of these packets because it is quite risky to do so. As such, if there is any out of order or something, then you need to maintain a lot of metadata. A lot of metadata is going to eventually increase the size of your data being transferred across the WAN network. So hope you guys loved watching this video. So I often do get questions about TOFFEE, how it works, and how is their setup which they have at this moment, and how TOFFEE can improve. So before asking these questions, I highly encourage you to watch various videos like this, and then also read the documentation whichever I have published with respect to use cases, with respect to various scenarios, how generally you can optimize the same in your WAN networks, and how TOFFEE optimizes the same, so that you don't need to get again redundant answers from me. I believe these videos are more detailed than me writing some mail and sending a reply. So often I do get such emails, so I get little irritated at times because it is just a redundant email. I don't know, down the lane some video I must have already discussed about. So I do highly recommend, whether you are a IT manager or a CTO, just take some more time, go through this documentation and videos. I'm not a professional video maker, so yes, of course, but still it is educational. You can go through the video and you get exactly what you are looking for with some sort of a demonstration like this. So hope you guys loved watching this video. Stay tuned. Have a nice day. Bye bye.